the free portfolio widget for Elementor. A portfolio is like a digital display case where you can show off your best work, product, or services. But guess what? Many people use the wrong tool like a gallery plugin to make their portfolio. This portfolio widget has tons of cool options and features that you will love to make your next portfolio website. And I'm going to show you exactly how to use it. It's designed to help you make amazing portfolios for your websites. And trust me, it's super easy and fun. So let me show you some real-time use cases. Here, the portfolio widget is used to display product photography, creating an attractive and organized showcase. And when we click on the item, we can see a detail page of that item. As you can see, high quality images are featured prominently, allowing customers to see product clearly. This enhances the real presentation that helps to engage customers and encourage them to explore more items. And here is the second example. On this designer's professional website, the portfolio widget is used to showcase their best work in a really appealing and user-friendly manner. And when we click on the project, we can see a detail page, or we can say that a case study. This setup makes it easier for the visitors to navigate and appreciate the showcased item. It effectively highlights top projects, ensuring they stand out and capture the attention of potential clients or customers. Another use case for this widget is showcasing your aesthetic photography. Users can click on the image and they can see more images by swiping through them. All are presented in a clear and organized layout. This clean layout showcases the quality and style of each photo, making it easy for the potential clients or customers to see and understand your artistic vision. And here is the last example. You can also use this widget to showcase your food gallery, something like this. And when we hover, we can see the name of the dish, or we can say that the food, and look. And when we click on it, we can see the image more clearly, something like this. So yeah, that's all. Before we start, please make sure to download the free version of Expert Elementor add-ons by clicking on the link given in the description below. Or you can also watch the video of how to install and activate the free version of Expert Elementor add-ons. This free Expert Portfolio plugin has tons of customization options and features that you will love to have for your next portfolio website. This is exactly what I'm going to show you in this video. Let me introduce you to a real portfolio widget that is specially designed and developed with the mindset to build amazing portfolios for any website. And trust me, it's super easy and fun to use. So let's say we're creating a portfolio for photography and you want to showcase your work in an amazing and attractive way like this. You can also filter them by clicking on the categories. Simply click on the filter you want to explore, and when you click on each item, you can see a live preview of that item. So we are going to create this portfolio with this preview. So let's delete this one. Search for portfolio from this widget panel and drag it to our desired location on this page. So this is the default view of our widget. Under the Content tab, here we have Portfolio, Advanced, Filter, and Preview section. And next in the Styling tab, here we have Overlay, Icon, Title, and much more. So let's add the content first. By default, there are 3 items over here. So first we have this filter name option. Let's change the name. I'm writing here Rachel. Now we have the option to choose that if this filter is default. Toggle on this option if you want to make this filter default. If not, then toggle off this option. And when we toggle off this option, it will automatically show the all filter as a default filter, like this. Now with the featured image option, we can upload any image from the media library. Just select and upload. Once we select the image, here we go. Now we have the flexibility to enhance the images by adding various icons, captions, and description individually to each one. Now we can write the title of the image. For example, I'm writing here Rachel. We can also write the description here, like this one. Like if you want to add description, it's up to you. Alright, now let's dive into the next option. We have this preview link option. The preview link is like a doorway to show off your work that leads to your projects or image preview, allowing others to easily check out your work. Here we can paste the link. Now you might be thinking what kind of link I'm pasting here. Let me break it for you. I have already created a preview or detail page of this item at the WordPress dashboard. And don't worry, I'll show you how to create a preview page from scratch just in a while. So stay with me. Now close this filter. Now we will add content to other filters in the same manner. And if you want to add more item, then click on this add item option. Okay, now it's time to jump to the next option. Here we have image resolution. You can choose any image resolution according to your choice. I'm choosing here full resolution. And look. Now close this portfolio section and move to the advanced section. So get ready because next we can change the layout of our portfolio by using this advanced section. Here we have this item per row option. From here we can adjust the number of images per row. Let's try some values. Because I want to show 4 images in one row. Like this. It's amazing, right? Now we have this image height option. From here we can adjust the image height. Simply drag the slider to adjust the image height, or you can adjust the image height manually by adding some values to the counter. Let's say I'm setting the image height to 500 and look, it's amazing, right? Next up, use this margin option to adjust the space between the images like this. I'm setting the margin to 15. Curious about what's next? Let's find out together as we move forward. Yeah, here we have the option to hide or show the icon, title, description, button to your images in the portfolio. Let's toggle on this all option. Let me show you how this all works. You can see these all options just by mouse over. Just hover over the image and look. Now toggle off this all option. For now, I'm just keeping it simple. Now close this advanced section and move to the filter section. Here we have this show filter menu option. If you want to show the filter menu, then keep on this option. And if you don't want to show the filter menu, then toggle off this option. Let me show you. If I toggle off this option, and look, you can see there are no filters. Like there is no way to filter the items by choosing their categories. So I think so it's hard to choose a specific category. So I'm enabling this option. Next up we have the option to enable the show all filter option. Toggle off this option if you don't want to show the all filter option. Let me show you. And look, there is no all filter. And if I toggle on this option, you can see the all filter here. You can also change the text of the all filter from here. Yeah, just for example, I'm writing here portfolio. Yeah, take a look. Next up, we can choose the filter animation. Whenever we switch the filters, yeah, it's that animation. We have 3D flip, quick stand, and fade out. Let's give it a try. Let's try the quicksand and lick. Now let's try the fade out. Wow, it's amazing, right? Simple and unique, right? I'm choosing here 3D flip. I think so this one is good, right? Now we have the option to show drop down on. From here we can choose where we want to show the drop down. We can choose on mobile, tablet and mobile, or none. You can also make this compatible according to the devices where you think you will get most of the target audience on mobile or tablet. Let's say if I'm choosing tablet and mobile. Now go to the responsive. If I switch to the tablet mode, and you can see the drop down here. And if I choose just mobile, again in the tablet mode, you can see there is no drop down. There are filters here. Now switch to the other responsive and look, you can see the drop down here. Now close this filter section and jump to the preview section. Excited to see what's up next? Let's dive in. Now in the preview section, first here is the preview type option. The preview type option lets you choose how you want your preview link to behave, or we can say that perform. Here we have these options: pop, external link and none. So if we choose pop, then clicking on the image will open a small window or pop-up where people can see your work without leaving the page, or we can say that without navigating to a different page. Like they can explore your work by staying on the same page. Next option is external link. If we choose external link, then it means when someone clicks on the image, it will take them to a completely different web page or website where they can see your work. Simply, it will open in a new tab or a window. And if we choose none, there won't be any preview link associated with your profile item. This means people won't be able to click on anything to see a preview of your work. So in simple terms, pops make a little window appear with your work, where external link takes people to another web page to see it. And none means there is no preview link at all. Now let me show you how it works. Let's choose pop. Now we have this pop-up option. We have two layouts. Let's try the layout 1 and the pop-up animation slice left. Now click on each image to see the preview. And look, the slice left animation. Yeah, you can see this is how people are going to review your work. You can also click on the image. You can see the details here. And look. Now let's try the layout 2 and choose the pop-up animation to slice right. You can see this is how it works. You can see the changed layout. Yeah, this is the second layout. So I'm choosing here pop-up. Now close this preview section. Now that we are done with the content editing phase, it's time to jump into the styling tab. Let's do some styling of our widget. Here we have this overlay section. Let's try the hover effects. Let's try the zoom, and you can see when we hover, it zooms in the image. And look. Now let's try the fade in. And when we hover, you can see a very unique effect. Now let's try the rotate. And look. I'm choosing here fade in. It looks amazing, right? Now we have this background type option. We can choose the background type. Let's try the solid classic background. Let's choose the color to somewhat gray. And look. Now let's try the graded background. For this, we need to choose a second color. So let's try the second color somewhat pink. And look. Now let's set this all to default, because I'm good without this background. We can also use an image as an overlay background. Simply choose the image, select and upload. Let me show you. When we hover, you can see the overlay effect. Now let's set this all to default. Because I'm good without this overlay, I'm just keeping it simple. You can also add padding according to your preferences. Now move to the filter section. First, here we have this typography. We can control display input fields to define the content typography, including the font size, font family, font weight, text transform, font style, line height, and letter spacing. Let's change the font family to Poppins. We can also adjust the font size by using this slider, or we can add some values in the counter. I'm setting the font size to 15. Now we can choose the alignment of these filters. We can choose right, center, or left. I'm choosing here center. Next up, we are going to style the filters. We can change the color of these filters on normal, hover, and active state. I'm choosing the text color to gray and the background color to transparent. Yeah, I want to keep this transparent. Let's choose the border to solid and the border width to 1 and the border color same as the text color, gray. Now move to the hover. Now let's choose the text color to white and look. Now let's choose the border color. Yeah, also white. Now move to the active. Let's choose the text color to white and the border color also white. And look, it's amazing, right? Now move back to the normal. Here we have the space between option. We can adjust the space between these filters by dragging this slider, or you can manually adjust this by adding some values in the counter. Let's say I'm setting this to 10 and look. Next up is the border radius option. The border radius tool allows you to adjust the shape of the element by rounding their corners. To adjust the radius, simply type in the values in the counter and use the 4 counters to adjust each individual corners. Let me show you. Let's say 20 and look. Now let's set this to 25. Yeah, that's okay. Next is the item padding. Basically, padding is used to create space around the content inside the defined borders. This applies to widgets, columns, and sections. You can see that padding grows the element and shrink the content inside. Let's say 20 and look, you can see this is how it works. Lastly, we have this margin option. Basically, margin is used to create space around the element outside the defined borders. Again, this applies to widget, columns, and section alike. Let's try something 40 and look, you can see the space outside the element. Now set this all to default as I'm good without this margin. Now close this filter section and jump to the drop down section. We are going to style the drop down. So switch to the mobile mode. If you remember, we choose the drop down on mobile. So yes, first is the text color. Let me show you. Just play around and set the text color. I'm setting the text color to black. In the same manner, we will set the background color and the separator color. And look, looks like a video game drop down. Now close this drop down section. Next we have this pop-up section. From here, we will style the pop-up section. In the pop-up section, here we have this overlay, background, and separator color. But first, let me show you what is overlay color. Let's click on this item and you can see this blue color. This is the overlay color. Let's set this to gray or kind of black and adjust the transparency to a very light. Now cross this pop-up and look, you can see this is the pop-up color that we have choose. Next, we have this background color option. Let me show you how this background color will work. Let's choose a color, play with the colors, and you can see the background. This is the background color. Let's set this to black. Now we have this separated color option. Play with the colors and look, you can see this is the separator. Let's set this to white. Now we have this close button option. We can choose the close button color on normal and hover state. Let's set the color to white. And the background color to red. Just to show you how it works. And look. Now let's set the actual colors. Let's set the background color to black and the border color to white. Now move to the hover. Let's set the icon color. I guess black is good. Yeah, we just need to change the background color. Click on the item and have a look. Now we can change the color of the navigation buttons, next or preview on normal and hover state. First, let me show you how it works. Let's choose our color. Let's say white and look. Now let's change the background color to black, I guess. Yeah, that's good. I think we need to do the same changes to the both buttons. I mean close button and the navigation buttons. Next, we have this navigation typography. From here, we can adjust the navigation typography. Now move to the hover. Now we can change the color of this navigation buttons on hover state. Let's change the button color to black and the background color to gray. Now we have this preview title option. From here, we can adjust the preview title color and typography. Let's set the color to white. Now move to the typography group. From here, we can adjust the fonts family. Let's set the fonts family to Poppins. And the font size to around 30. Yeah, that's good. Adjust the weight. I'm setting the weight to 600. Now close this pop-up section. You can also design the pop-up section according to your choice. And we are done with the pop-up section. And move to the mix section. Here we have this border type. Let's choose the border type to solid. And you can see the border. Now let's choose the border color and look. You can see this is how it works. Now let's try some border radius to make the edges round. Let's set this to 20. Look. Now let's try 50. You can see. Now let's set this all to default because I'm just keeping it simple. Now close this mix section. And here we go. We are done with the portfolio. Now let's have a final look. So these are the final results. Now let's switch to the other filter. Monica, Addison, Emily, Sophia, Eva, and look. Now click on all. Hope you guys enjoyed this part. Next up, we are headed to the amazing part of this video. That is preview page. We are going to create, we can say, the detailed page of that portfolio of each category. Yeah. Now let's move to the second part of this video. We will make a preview page. For this, I'll show you how you can create a preview page from scratch. Now head over to your WordPress dashboard. Click on Pages. Now click on Add a new page. Here we will write the title of the page. I'm writing here Madison. The next step is to do some page settings. Now go to the page layout. Here we will choose a sidebar layout. Let me tell you about the sidebar. Sidebar is an area on a WordPress website along the main content, which displays a navigation menu or various types of supplementary information for users, such as navigational links to key pages, ads for product and services, It's basically a vertical column on either side of a page, but it can also be found in other places, such as under the footer. So on my page, right now I don't want any sidebar, so I'm choosing no sidebar here. If you want any sidebar in your page to show more information, feel free to enable the sidebar. Now we will choose the content length. You need to know that in WordPress, the content layout refers to how the elements of your website content are organized and presented on the page. It includes the arrangement of text, images, videos, widgets, sidebars, headers, footers, and other elements within the overall design of your website. I'm choosing here full width. Now we will disable the sections that we don't want to show. Let's disable the banner and space. Now click on Publish and edit with Elementor. As you can see, we're already having this header and footer, so we don't need to make it from the start. I've enabled this header and footer from the theme builder on my entire website. I'm going to use sections and columns with different elements, some widgets, floating and motion effects by WP Expert to build the page. Expert extensions for Elementor are unique features that extend the Elementor capabilities and let you create amazing effects on your website. Here we have 25 plus Elementor extensions like floating effect, entrance animation, motion effect, background parallax, 300 plus icons in Expo Icon Library, and much more. Now let's get started. Click on this plus icon. From here, we can choose the container. Choose the container according to your desired structure. Let me tell you about a container. A container is a box that holds your web page element, including widgets and other nested containers to provide the layout you need. You can create containers quickly and save them as a recurring template to streamline your web building process. This Container Layout tab controls how the items are arranged in a container. Elements within a container can have two different types of properties: how they act as a group and how they act as individual elements. The alignment settings controls how the objects are aligned within the container and depend on whether you set the direction to row or column. From here, we can choose the container's direction. If we set the container's direction to row, the items will be aligned from left to right. And if we set the container's direction to column, the items will be aligned from top to bottom. I'm choosing here column, top to bottom. By using this direction, whenever we will drop the elements or widgets in the container, it will be dropped in the direction that we choose. Now we can choose how we want to justify the content. Justification determines the spacing between items in the container and the item's distance from the container border. So I'm choosing here center. Now we can choose how we want to align the items. I'm choosing here center. Now move to the styling tab. We will upload a background image. From this background section, choose the background type. Now we will upload the image. Simply select and upload. Let's choose this one. Select and upload. Now I'm going to choose the image resolution. I'm choosing here full. Next we will choose the position. I'm choosing here center. Repeat option, no repeat. Display size, cover. Unlock. Now move to the layout. From here, we will adjust the minimum height. Simply drag the slider to adjust the height, or you can adjust the height manually by simply adding some values to the counter. I'm setting the minimum height to 706. Move to the Advanced tab. Go to the Layout section. Unlink the values. From here, we will set the margin. Let's set the margin from top to -130. And look, now it's perfect. Now close this Layout section. Now click on this plus icon. Now search for Page Title from this widget panel and drag it to our desired location on this page. So when we drop the widget, you can see it's showing the page name. It's because the widget fetched data from the page. So it's showing the page title Madison, as we write the page title Madison, if you remember guys. Let's choose the HTML tag to H1. Now jump to the styling tab. Here we will choose the typography option. Let's choose the fonts family to Poppins. Now let's adjust the font size. Let's set the font size to 40. Let's choose some weight. Next, what we need to do is to change the title color. Let's choose the title color to white. Now move back to the widget panel. Search for the breadcrumb widget and drop it below the page title widget. Simply jump to the styling tab, adjust the alignment if you want to do, adjust the space between. I'm setting the space between to 20. Let's adjust the typography. I'm choosing the fonts family to Poppins. From here we can adjust the font size. Simply drag the slider to adjust the font size, or we can do it manually by adding values to the counter. I'm setting the font size to 25. Next we have this color option on normal and hover state, but I'm just choosing here color on normal. I'm choosing the color to white, and look. Now close this general section. Now move back to the widget panel. Scroll down to the page. Let's add a new container. Select the structure, and there we go. Choose the direction from top to bottom. Justify the content into center. Align the items also in center. Now let's set the column and row gap. Let's set this to 50 and 50. Yeah, that's good. Now move to the styling tab. We will change the background color. Simply from the background section, we will choose the background type to solid and then choose the color. Kinda like this. And look. Now click on this plus icon. Now add one more container. This is the second container in the main container. Now add one more container and duplicate the third container. Now click on the second container. Choose the direction from left to right. Now we will adjust the column and row gap. Let's say 20. Now we will add content to the left container. Click on the plus icon. From the widget panel, drop the heading widget. Now duplicate this widget like this. Now change the direction of the third container from left to right. And you can see the heading widgets are aligned horizontally in one row. Now let's write the title before services. Choose the HTML tag. Move to the styling tab. We will choose the fonts family to Poppins and the font size to 40. In the same manner, we will choose the weight. Let's choose the color to white, and look. Now click on the second widget. Let's write the title photography. Now move to the styling tab. Let's choose the font family to Poppins and the font size to 25. Choose the weight. Now let's choose the color. I'm choosing here yellow. Actually, I have a good color theme in my mind. Don't worry, stay with me. We'll see the final results at the end of the video. So stay with me. Now you can see there is something missing. The service and the photography titles, they are not in a sequence, or you can say that they are not aligned properly. Now click on the third container. From here, we will justify the content into center. Also, we will align the items to center. I hope now you guys have learned why these container settings are important. So never miss the container settings, okay? Now click on this heading widget. Let's make the heading interactive and engaging. For this, move to the advanced tab. We will add a floating effect. From this floating effect section, toggle on this option. From here, I'm going to add the scale effect. Adjust the values, and look. For now, I'm just removing this effect. I'm just showing you that these are the amazing things that you're going to learn in this video. I'll add this effect in a sequence when I'll complete this heading section. So for now, I'm removing this effect. Now move to the right container, add a heading widget, duplicate the heading widget. Now choose the direction of the third container from left to right. Now we will justify the content to center. Also align the items into center. Now you can see these are aligned horizontally in one row. Now add the title. I'm writing here date. Adjust the typography, choose the fonts family to Poppins, adjust the font size to 40, adjust the weight. Now we will choose the color. I'm choosing here white. Now move to the next heading widget. Now let's write the date here. I'm writing here 20 March 2021. Now we will adjust the typography, choose the fonts family to Poppins and the font size. Let's choose the color to yellow. Unlike. Now click on the second main container. Move to the Advanced tab. We will add some padding. First, unlink the values. I'm adding the padding top and bottom to 50 and right to left 40. Now have a look. Now click on the third container. From here, we will change the background color. Move to the Styling tab. From the background section, choose the background type. Now let's use the background color. I'm choosing here gray. Now change the other container color in the same manner. Simply click on the third container, go to the Styling tab. From the background section, add a background color, and look, it's amazing, right? Now click on the left container. Now this is the most fun part, or we can say that most interesting part. Now we will add some floating effects or motion effects. So move to the Advanced tab. Click on this motion effects. From here, we will add the entrance animation. Now let's have fun exploring this entrance animation. Let's explore. Let's try this flip horizontal. Wow, it's interesting. Let's try this reveal. Mask. Let's try this mask from down. Yeah, that's nice. Let's set this to mask from right. And look, that's perfect. Now let's apply the same effect to the right container. Let's choose here mask from left. And look. Now close this section. Click on the main container. Let's add some padding. Go to the Advanced tab. First, unlink the values. I'm adding the padding top and bottom 60. And look. Now close this layout section. Move to the widget panel and drop a container below this container. Now add one more container in the same container. Now click on the main container. Choose the direction from top to bottom. And now click on the second container. Choose the direction from left to right. Justify the content to center. Also align the items to center. Now click on the plus icon. Now from the widget panel, search for heading widget and drop the heading widget here. Now let's write the title here. I'm writing here best work we have done. Yeah. Now move to the Styling tab. Choose the typography group. Let's set the fonts family to Poppins. Now we will adjust the font size. I'm setting the font size to 25. Now let's choose the color. I think so This is good. Gray. Yeah. Now search for the divider and drop it right here before or after the heading. Now let's choose the color. I'm choosing the color to yellow. Now we will adjust the width. After adjusting the width of this divider, let's drop this divider before the heading. And look, after adjusting the width of the divider and dropping it before the heading, now we will apply some floating or motion effects. So move to the Advanced tab. Here, we will choose the floating effect as I show you before if you remember. Yeah, we are going to apply the scale effect. Simply enable this floating effect, go to the scale, adjust the values, and look. Now move to the widget panel. Now drop a heading widget in the first container. Now let's add a heading. Now choose the HTML tag, choose the alignment. I'm choosing here left. Now move to the styling tab. From this typography menu, we will choose the fonts family. I'm choosing here Poppins. Now we will adjust the font size by dragging the slider or manually by adding the values. Let's set this to 50 or no, 35. Yeah, that's fine. Adjust the letter spacing. And look, let's set this to 2.5. No, 2 is perfect. Yeah. You can also adjust the line height by dragging the slider. Yeah, that's perfect. Next, move to the Advanced tab. Now we will add some margin. Go to the Layout section. First, unlink the values. Let's add some margin from the top. I'm adding the margin around 30. And look. Now scroll down to the page. Now add a new container. Choose the direction from top to bottom and justify the content into center. Align the item, also center. Now move to the Styling tab. Here we will choose the background color. Simply choose the background type and choose the color to black. And look. Now click on the plus icon. Now from this widget panel, search for Simple Gallery and drag it to our desired location on this page. Now from the gallery section, we will upload the images. Let's select this one and this. Select and upload. And look, I think so we need to check the container settings. So click on the main container. From the Layout tab, here we will unselect the Justify Content and Align Item option as this is a gallery widget. Yeah, now it's perfect. Now we will adjust the image height. So click on this Edit option. From the Content tab, in the Advanced section, here we will adjust the image height. We can adjust the image height by dragging the slider and manually by adding some values to the counter. Let's set the image height to 500. Now let's have a look. I think so, we need to adjust more. Let's set this to 540. Next, what we're going to do is to change the appearance of this filter. For this, we need to move to the filter section. From here, first we have this show filter menu option. You can adjust if you want to show the filters. I think so, this is good. Instead of using filters, we can use the gallery widget like this. Because we are already using the filters at the main page. I mean the main portfolio page. So this is good. So let's close this filter section. Now we can move to the pop-up section. From here, we can adjust how we want to show the pop-up, what kind of details we want to show in the pop-up. Let me show you. Here you can see there are the options of thumbnail by default, social share, download. And when we click on the image, you can see all of the details here. You can see the thumbnails down here. You can also see the social share, download and the close icon. So these are the pop-up details. Now scroll down to the page, add a new container. Click on the container settings. From here, from the layout tab, we will set the direction from top to bottom. We can also adjust the row gap and column gap. Let's change the background. Go to the styling tab. Click on the background type. Choose the color and voila! We are good to go. Now move back to the layout tab. From here, justify the content to center. Now click on the plus icon. Add one more container from this widget panel into the first container. Now click on the plus icon. From the widget panel, drop the heading widget. Now edit the heading widget, add the details as we have done before. Let's write here 1. Now duplicate this heading widget. Click on the main container. Choose the direction from left to right and justify the content to center. Also, align the items to center. Now click on edit. Go to the styling tab. Choose the fonts family to Poppins and adjust the size to 30. Let's choose the color yellow and look. Now click on the second heading widget. Here we will write the title. I'm writing here lights. Now choose the HTML tag. I'm choosing here H4. Now move to the styling tab. Let's change the fonts family. I'm choosing here Poppins. Let's set the font size to 40. Now choose the weight. Next step is to choose the color. So click on the color type. Here I'm choosing the color white. Now click on the last heading widget. Now let's write here the description. Choose the HTML tag. Now move to the styling tab. From the typography menu, choose the fonts family to Poppins, font size to 20. And lastly, we will choose the font color. Let's choose the font color to gray. Yeah, that's look good. Now let's adjust the width, kind of like this, just by dragging and adjusting their borders. Yeah, I think so. We need to set the alignment of the description. Click on the third heading widget. Set the alignment to left. Now let's set the all heading widget alignment to left. Yeah. And look, now it's aligned in a good sequence. I mean on the left side. Now click on the one heading widget. Go to the advanced tab. From here, we will add some kind of motion effect. So scroll down to the motion effects section. From here, we will choose the entrance animation. Let's try this animation: fading, bouncing, rotate. Wow, that's amazing. I think so. That's good. Fading up. Yeah, that's perfect. So feel free to have fun by exploring these cool animations. I mean, I'm surely loving it. Now click on the lights, second heading widget. We are also going to add some floating effects to make it look engaging and captivating. So go to the advanced tab, go to the floating effects section, enable the floating effects. From here, we will add the scale effect. Just adjust the values. Click on compact. Yeah, compact mode is good. Yeah, now look, It's so amazing, right? Now click on the second container. Now we're going to adjust the color. Go to the styling tab. Let's change the background color. Click on the background type. Let's choose the color to gray. And now we're going to add some padding to adjust the width and the styling of this container. So go to the advanced tab. From here, we will add some padding. Let's set the all padding to 60. We don't need to unlink the values. You can see we need to give some padding on the upper side too. So click on the main container, go to the advanced tab. From here, we will add some margin. Simply unlink the values and type in the value, or we can say that some margin value that we want to add on the upper side. I think so we need to add some padding. So unlink the padding values. Let's write here 100. And look, I mean it's good. Let's try it. No, I think so 100 was good. So let's set this back to 100. Yeah. Now it's perfect. Now we will add some padding from the bottom. So set this bottom padding to 100. And look, just drag the inner containers, or you can say that widget borders to adjust the widget alignment. Yeah. Actually, I just want everything perfect and in a good alignment. Yeah. Now move to the widget panel. From here, we will search for Simple Gallery and drag it to our desired location on this page. I mean below this headings. Yeah. Again, we're going to select some images and then upload. Let's select this and this, create new gallery, insert, and we're good to go. Again, we need to adjust the advanced settings. So first, we will adjust the image height. Let's set this to 540. Yeah. Now have a look. Now we can adjust how many items we want to show in one row. Let's set this to 2. And look, now you can see it's adjusting the image height according to the item per row option. Yeah. Now move to the filter section. From here, we will disable these filters. As I told you before, we don't need to show filters here. Now move to the advanced tab. From here, we will add some padding. First, unlink the values. Let's add the padding from right and left to 100. Now have a look. Hope you guys are getting it in the right way, that how to use this padding and margin options to adjust the image height and the image position perfectly. Now scroll up to the page. Click on the main container. From the layout tab, we're going to set the column and row gap. So let's set the column and row gap to 50. No. Let's set this to 100. Now it's good. Now scroll down to the page, add a new container. From the layout tab, we will adjust the container setting. Just like direction from top to bottom, justify the content to center, and align the items to center. Now click on the main container, go to the styling tab. Let's change the background color. Let's set the background color to black. Now click on the plus icon and drag one more container in the same container. Click on the second container, choose the direction from left to right, justify the content into center, also align the items into the center. Now move to the styling tab. From here, we will adjust the background type color. Let's set the background color to gray. Now click on the plus icon. Search for the heading widget, or simply drag and drop the heading widget into the same container and duplicate the heading widget into 3 widgets. First, we will adjust the first heading widget. Let's write here to choose the HTML tag, set the alignment. Choose the fonts family to Poppins. Adjust the font size to 25. Adjust the weight. Lastly, we will choose the color. Now let's adjust the second heading widget. I'm writing the title camera. Choose the HTML tag, adjust the alignment. Now move to the styling tab. Let's choose the fonts family to Poppins and the font size to 40. In the same manner, we will adjust the weight. Lastly, we will choose the font color. Now we will edit the third heading widget. Simply write the description. Choose the HTML tag. Now adjust the alignment. Next step is to change the appearance. We need to go to the styling tab. Let's choose the fonts family to Poppins and the size to 15. In the same manner, we will adjust the weight if we want. Lastly, we will choose the color. So I'm setting the description color to gray. So guys, we have already covered the initial steps in the video. Now we will continue creating the rest of the page. We will move forward by dropping containers, adding heading widget, and inserting simple galleries. This preview page, or we can say that a detail page, is all about showcasing the photography portfolio process, the light, the camera, and the action. We will highlight the lighting setup, display a gallery of camera shots, and finally capture the action. Basically, this process shows how a portfolio comes together. Now let's speed up the process. And by the end of the video, you will have learned how to create a detail page from scratch. Remember, it is all about building a compelling story for the preview page and then enhancing it with the style. So creating a strong story and using the right design elements will make your portfolio page truly shine. This approach not only makes your work stand out, but also leaves a lasting impression. So let's move forward. So last time we adjusted the description color. Next step is to add some motion effects, or we can say that some floating effects. So go to the Advanced tab. From the Motion Effects section, choose the right motion effect. And then we will apply the floating effect. Now take a look at the final results. Moving forward to the next step of the video, go to the widget panel, drop a simple gallery widget. After you drop the gallery widget, adjust the container settings. Now click on the widget, upload the images, create a new gallery. I think so one image is good. Now go to the Advanced tab, choose the item per row option, adjust the image height, and remove the filters. Now the main part, that is adjusting some padding and margin. So go to the Advanced tab, unlink the values, add some padding. I'm adding the padding to right and left 200, and look. Hope you guys are learning it, that how you can use the margin and padding options to adjust the image. Now the next step is to add some column and row gap to the container. So click on the container. From the layout tab, we are going to add some column and row gap. Let's add the column gap to 60. or we can say that 100. Yeah, that's good. Now scroll down to the page, add a container. Now from the styling tab, change the background color. Let's change the background color to black. Now return back to the layout tab. From here, adjust the column and row gap. Add one more container in the same container. Now click on the second container. Go to the styling tab. Change the background color to gray. Now click on the plus icon. Drop a heading widget. Duplicate into 3 heading widgets. Adjust the container settings. Now click on the heading widgets. Add the content. Let's write here 3. Write the title and the description. We're going to choose the same settings as we have done before. We will choose the font family to Poppins and the color to yellow. And for the title, we will choose the color to white, and for the description, we're going to choose the color gray. Adjust the alignment to left side. We will also add some padding to the second container. Now add some motion and floating effects. Make it look engaging and captivating. Now we will add some margin, or we can say that padding, to the upper side and the lower side. Now just drag the widget borders to adjust the sequence. Now close this section and close this tab. And guys, don't forget to click on the publish, otherwise your all efforts are going to say you bye-bye. So click on publish. Now let's have a final look. Now let's scroll down and let's have a final look. I mean, wow. But wait, I think so this area is so congested. I think so we need to add some space. We can add a space, a gap, by using padding or margin. We can also add a column and row gap. So click on the container. Let's go for the column and row gap. From the layout tab, we will add a column and row gap. Let's set this to 20 or 50. No. So let's set this to 50. Oh my god, it's too much. Let's set this to 40. Now have a look. Now click on publish, something unique, and share your progress with us. And I would love to hear from you guys. And if you have any questions, please feel free to comment below. I would love to help you guys out. I hope you guys found this video helpful. So don't forget to hit the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more videos like this.